Good morning, everybody. Here's a quick reaction to Anthony Brian Logan on YouTube, who put up 20 minutes of DC residents supporting Trump's federal takeover.
Got a Union Station, as you can see behind me.
And she is 100% right in her statement. I have already watched it, so I wanted to say this, that she is 100% in her statement. Most of the protesters aren't even from the area in which they're protesting, 90% of the time. They're paid protesters.
Yes, 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 yes.
This is an actual DC resident who lives there.
And I walked the Union Station. It was different. See, I'm from DC. I live here. So I can tell you, I can be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. It was nice. I don't even want to leave. Union Station. They literally, it feels different. Like usually when I walk through, it's got this darkness. It's like you're walking through some sort of semi-yummy hood at night. And now it feels more light, upbeat. It definitely feels safe. But see, I can say that because I'm from here. A lot of people that are here protesting, they're not from here. They don't even live here. So they wouldn't know on a day-to-day basis as I would and some of the other DC natives. But yeah, I even saw U.S. Marshals up in Silver Spring. They rolled up on somebody and they're saying they were stealthy. They were regular cars. I'm not going to say too much, but they were regular cars. I saw this guy throwing up his middle fingers. I was like, what's he doing? Is he tweaking? And I look, I kind of face where he's turned, and I see like 8 marshals, right? And they got like 2 or 3 people. They're silent. Silent. And this is Maryland. Well, it's
Basically, we need this everywhere. There's blue leaders.
considered the DMV because it's the metropolitan area, but it's Maryland. And they're doing
We need this in New York. We need this in Chicago. We need this wherever there's a blue leader.
Union Station literally feels cleaner. It's nicer.
It's time to get the criminals off the streets.
Big circle right here usually has some homeless people. It's got the F Trump sign. The people who are saying F Trump, I'm sorry, they look dirty. They look like they stink. And it looks like a homeless encampment, just a little bit. I mean, it's giving homelessness. Let me see that tent right there, the red and white stripes. It's giving homeless encampment.
Those are the protesters she's referring to.
And I think I saw somebody come out of there. They look a little. It's like there's always this look.
It's called the touched in the head look. You know, the crazy.
To them. It's like a, I don't want to say mental illness, but it's like this, like, the mental health crisis look. Anyway, I saw they like this great big banner. It says F Trump, and the guy's gonna be there for 4 years. Y'all ain't gonna do anything. And there's a sign saying, "Release the Epstein." What are you guys gonna do? You have to live. Dance around it.
And I hate to tell you, but the victims already interviewed, and when they asked point blank if Trump were any part of anything illegal, they point blank said no.
Can't do anything about it. You can't even hold the people within your general group. You can't hold on.
Basically, she's saying you can't even hold your own people accountable. How are you wanting to hold other people accountable?
Your pause right there. You can't hold people in different tiers responsible if you can't hold the people around you responsible. The general public has to hold themselves responsible, and they don't do that. What are you going to do with that Epstein list? Please tell me. What are you going to do? You're going to wage justice? You can't put them in jail. I'm more concerned about the people that I live around. The laws that affect me, not a bunch of rich people who do not live the same type of life as we do. Rich people can do certain things and not get in trouble. That's their tier. I'm not angry at them. It's just that I don't know why everybody is so lit over the Epstein files. That is not going to end world hunger. It is not going to serve any kind of justice to us. It just isn't. That's their world, not ours. But yeah, as far as the presence down here in the station, I mean, hey, I'm gonna be honest. It's cleaner looking. It's nicer looking. You still have some people asking for money, but they're like only 2 or 3, and they're like right by the escalators. They're not inside. They're not people like zombies on the inside.
In other words, DC residents are happy Trump did this. Chicago residents are begging Trump to do this. New York will probably be next. And we are hoping we are next. Because regardless of New York City, the majority of New York don't want to live like this. The majority of New Yorkers are good, hardworking American citizens that are just trying to live their lives. And we got people like Mamdani, who was running for mayor of New York City just because New York City happens to hold the most power of the state. And then the rest of New York gets screwed, basically, because of New York City's mandates or whatever. So think of it this way. They elect Mamdani. Now, people outside of the district have no control over who's the mayor of New York City. If you live in upstate New York, you're still a New Yorker, but you don't have control over what happens to New York City and who's the mayor, who's the things like that. We only have control over like the governor and things like that. Okay? Now, that being said, there are more people in New York City per capita compared to the rest of New York. Now, that being said, this has been primarily a blue state. Now, these blue state leaders have lost their mind because they used to be for the working men and women of New York. Now, they're so worried about the illegal immigrants and their Trump derangement syndrome that they don't pay attention to anything else in New York. Okay? There's a homeless problem in New York. They don't pay attention to it. There's a crime problem in New York. They don't pay attention to it. Why? Because they're so wrapped up in the illegal immigrant population and worrying about whether or not people like that Garcia guy gets deported by Trump or not. No, we don't care anymore. We do not care. We are done. Democratic leaders, we are done. Understand that, please, because we don't want this anymore. We don't want our streets being ridden with crime. So blue states, get with the program and let our president do what we voted for him to do. Because if y'all keep this up, in 4 years when the election comes, no matter who you have up, we're going to go Republican again and again and again. Because we're tired of the crime, we're tired of the corruption, we're tired of your lies. And yes, you lie to us. Because here's a prime example. Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, had a press conference saying that they were going to put $50 million of our budget towards illegal immigrants for their lawyers. Did you ask any New Yorker? Did you have a vote on that? No. What did you do? As the governor, you signed an order and pushed it through without asking the people of New York. Because I'm a New Yorker, and I sure in the hell wouldn't have voted for that. And I'm sure there are other New Yorkers who would not have voted for $50 million of their tax-paying dollars to go more to illegal immigrants. I don't have a problem with immigrants. I'm so tired of hearing this country was built on immigrants. Actually, no, it was not. This country was settled by immigrants. Okay, we settled here. Then, as years went on, immigrants started coming. You see, you immigrant to a place that has already been settled. You see the difference? They're not going to a place and building it up and making it their own. No, they're coming to some place that's already been settled, already been established, and then making it their own. That's not building America up. And I am tired of hearing about that nonsense. I don't have a problem with immigration. What I have a problem with are people taking advantage of the system, coming here illegally, and then proceeding to stay here illegally. Some of these people have been here for 20, 30 years and never made any attempt to become legal citizens. Why? And then, and I don't mean this in a hateful way, this is America. This flag right here, the red, white, and blue, which I have to fix right now, but this flag is the only flag that should be flown. The only one. Because this is America. If you fly any other flag, you're un-American. It's that simple. You don't see any other flag. The only other flag you should be hanging by an American flag is a POW flag. What happened to the times? I have to go down there to fix it. What happened to the times where you see an American flag flying proudly with a POW underneath? Or vice versa? You don't anymore. Why? Because they're too busy hanging up their other flags. And I don't have a problem with people displaying their flags. I really don't. But what they need to do is display the American flag first and foremost. Don't touch the ground, baby, please. There we go. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to hang this back up without it touching the ground. Whew. There we go. There we go. Now it's flying proudly. We had a little windstorm last night that blew through, so it got it all bent up. But that is the only flag that should be flown. And the disrespect that I have seen protesters doing to that flag, the symbol of the very freedom in which they are allowed to protest. Are you freaking kidding me? Go to another country and do that. Go to Venezuela and do that. Go to China and do that. Go to Russia and do that. Go anywhere else and do what you did here. And then bitch about the very freedoms. And stomp on the flag that gave you those freedoms. Gave you the right to do that. How dare you? How dare you? That's all I can say about that, is how dare you? You guys, most blue Democratic leaders are more worried about housing an illegal immigrant than housing a United States vet. There was a story that broke out of New York, out of one of the migrant shelters, which was a 5-star hotel in Manhattan, I believe. I could be wrong about where exactly the hotel was, but point is, it's a 5-star hotel, very fancy hotel that would have cost a normal person a couple of $100 a night to stay at, if not more. Okay? Now, that being said, there was a homeless man who happened to be who went into the lobby to sleep on a particularly chilly evening. Okay? You with me so far? Cold night. He goes inside to sleep. he's told that he's not welcome there. Guess what? That man was a United States vet who had fought for this country. And the people that were housed inside that building were illegal immigrant families. So I'm sorry, how is it okay for them to get a warm bed and a shelter and free food and our hard-earned tax dollars, and a veteran who fought for this country to keep it free is told to leave? In what country is that okay? In what universe is that okay? I'm sorry, but no. And this type of stuff occurs in every blue city, every blue state. I can guarantee you. Guarantee it. Because they're so worried about that they're not considering the others. They're not considering the actual citizens, the people that want them there. Like the fact that all these liberals that don't even live in Chicago are going, we don't want you here. We don't want Trump to be an oligarchy. We don't want Trump to send in the National Guard. But guess what? Guess what? The actual Chicago residents want it. The actual residents of D.C. wanted it. The actual residents, the actual citizens of New York, D.C., any blue state, I guarantee the actual citizens of said state want this. That's the point. I've seen video after video of Chicago residents begging Trump to ignore the governor and mayor and send in the troops. I saw D.C. residents thanking Trump for saving their city. Democratic leaders won't show you that. No, they won't. Why? Because it goes against their narrative of orange man bad. Now, I wanted to touch on another narrative. Rosie O'Donnell. I didn't like her as an actress, but I like her less as a person at times. The things this woman says, she spouts out nonsense that's not even true and is expected to be believed. I mean, really? Maybe check your facts, Miss O'Donnell, before you accuse a man such as our president of that. I mean, why are we even listening to this woman anyway? She ran away from our country simply because she didn't like the way the American people voted. So she ran away from our country. So why are you even speaking about Trump? Why are you even speaking about our country? You're a traitor because you left our country because you did not agree with who we voted for. So I'm sorry, I don't care what you have to say about Trump. And neither do any other American citizen that actually cares about America. That's all I'm saying about that. Because I'm sorry, how do you run away from a country simply because you do not like the person that was voted for president? I didn't like Biden. I didn't leave. I did not like Bush. I didn't leave. You deal with it and you move on. And in 4 years, you hope your candidate wins. It's that simple. You don't pack up your shit and then head to Ireland or wherever else. And then proceed to hold interviews bashing the very country or the president of the country that you ran from. You don't get to do that. And then if people listen to your platform, the only ones who are going to be listening to your platform are the liberals who think like you. It's that simple. Personally, if I were the president, I would sue for defamation of character because he's already been proved that 90% of those accusations were all politically motivated. And yet, she still spouts them like they're gospel facts. Shame on you. Shame on you. And then you call a man the most vile thing you can call a man. and you want no consequences. No, I'm sorry. There are consequences to your actions. There are consequences to everyone's actions. Like the Chicago mayor and the Chicago governor, who are fighting against the Trump administration because they say their citizens don't want this. It's bullshit, because the citizens do want it. It's the illegal ones and the ones that are committing the crimes that don't want that. I have grandchildren, 6 of them. I have 6 grandchildren who all live in that state. And every single day that they are in that state, I am terrified. Terrified. I've begged my daughter to leave that state. But because the fathers of her boys are there, she refuses. But believe me, I am terrified every single day that they are in that state. Because you hear about it all the time on the news. Chicago, 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 Chicago. 58 people over one weekend. 58 people over one weekend. And you think it's safe? Come on. Come on, Mayor and Governor. I think it's Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritzker. That's just like... Whoa. Sorry, I almost slipped. My steps are wet. That's just like Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass. They fought against Trump, fought against Trump, fought against Trump. Why? Because they want to maintain their political power. The people of California are done with them. The actual citizens are begging them to resign. I saw clip after clip of people going, please, Governor Newsom, just please go away. Go away. We don't want you no more. So, there you go. That's your morning news and your morning updates with all the craziness going on in the world. So you guys tell me what you think. Do you think the National Guard being called in is a good thing or a bad thing? I personally, my personal opinion, it's a good thing. Because if you're not doing anything illegal, you have nothing to worry about. If you're doing nothing wrong, you have nothing to worry about. If you're a legal, law-abiding citizen of Chicago, you have nothing to worry over. You want to know who has to worry? The criminals, the gangs, the people that are breaking the laws, and illegal immigrants. The people that are breaking the laws. Those are the people that have to worry. Not your average, everyday, American, U.S., Chicagoing city resident. In other words, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to worry over. And anyone who is telling you that it's not okay, that it's an abuse of power, it's because they want the crime. They want the illegal immigrants in their cities. Why? Because they are the ones that vote for these people. They are the ones who put these people in power. That's why. So be smart and understand. Come on, Zippy. Come on. That the only people that want this are the criminals and the illegals and the people that support them. That is the only ones. So please remember that and think about that. Democratic leaders, the ones who went before you, would be ashamed of you. They would say you're not a Democratic leader, because the Democratic leaders used to be a working class. They used to be for the working class. They're not for the working people anymore. Oh, no, no. They're all about the criminals. They're all about the illegal immigrants. Why? Because, like I said, those are the people that vote for them. not the people that have common sense. And I'm not saying every illegal immigrant doesn't have common sense, but let's face it, if somebody comes up to you, a personal power, a governor, a mayor, anything like that, comes up to you and hands you an EBT card and says, I'm going to give you all of this. All you got to do is vote for me. Do you care what their policies are? Do you care that their crime is through the roof? What do you care about? The handout you're getting. So these Democratic leaders give handouts in order to receive these votes. They protect these people in order to receive these votes. Well, the United States citizens, the actual citizens, are tired of the high crime. We're tired of the TDA. We're tired of MS-13. We're tired of all of this nonsense. We're tired of everything concerning the Democratic Party and Democratic leaders when it comes to illegal immigration, law, and everything. We're done. We're tired of it. We are not voting Democratic when you act like this. So be prepared that when it's time for the vote, you will not be getting those votes. It's that simple. So everybody have a wonderful day. I hope everybody has a blessed day. And remember, be kind to one another. Life's too short for all this nonsense. Peace.